all of your favorite recipes.
Simply Food.
You should know by now that you're in for a treat.
Simply Food.
There's no other channel where you'd rather be.
Simply Food.
Seafood, pasta, cakes, and pies. Sing and laugh and even cry. Like and share and hit subscribe. Simply Food by TY.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Simply Food by TY, and today I'm gonna show y'all how to make some fried potatoes. Quick, simple, easy, straight to the point, but I'm gonna tell you these fried potatoes is everything. But first things first, we need to talk about your bunch of nasties. There are people out here serving y'all fried potatoes, and they are not washing their damn potatoes. And ain't nobody got time for that, okay? Now, in my own personal opinion, I think that it is a bit basic to use any other type of potato besides like a red potato or like a Yukon Gold when it comes to frying potatoes. My personal opinion, I think red potatoes are the best when it comes to frying potatoes because the skin, I feel, gets a natural sweetness to it. But you must make sure that you are washing your potatoes, especially because when you use red skin potatoes for fried potatoes, you leave the skin on, which means you really need to be cleaning it. So I have a little butter knife here that I'm taking the back of, and I'm scraping off any black areas. And the reason why I'm using this instead of a vegetable peeler is because I want to retain as much of that skin as possible, because like I said, that adds like a natural sweetness to it the more it starts to caramelize when we start to fry it a little bit later on down the line. But right now, what I'm focusing on is just making sure that I'm scraping off any areas that might look rotten, any dark areas. And this is a quick rinse, okay? This isn't like the deep rinse, so don't stress yourself out. Right now, I'm simply just trying to get off all of the gook off of it, giving a good wash down. And then what we'll do is after I've diced them up and, did all of that, I'm going to put them back in water to let them soak again. Because once again, you cannot be serving people fried potatoes if you have not washed them. Like, see that? You got to scrape all of that off, okay? Dump that water out. Put you some new clean water in that bowl. And now let's go on over to the cutting board so that we can start to dice them up. Now, you can dice up your potatoes however you choose to do so. As long as they are all cut the same size, it really honestly does not matter. I know some people like theirs on little squares, kind of like how I do mine. Some people like theirs paper thin. It doesn't matter how you do it as long as they're all cooked the same. Because, when you're doing something like this, you want everything to kind of cook at the same at about the same time. So, you don't want to have some potatoes giant chunks and then some paper thin, because, when you're frying potatoes, you can run the risk of overcooking some of them, and then it kind of just turns into mashed potatoes, and, ain't nobody got time for that. So as I stated a little bit earlier, after you finish dicing them up, put them back in really, really cold water and let them soak for like 10 to 15 minutes, rinse it off, and then you'll have some nice, clean, nice and clean potatoes. Now, I'm cutting up roughly about 5 or 6 of them, because this will last me a couple of days. But if you want to make more, by all means. If you want to make less, just make the adjustments necessary. Let's talk about the vegetables. Now, I'm going to be adding in 1 whole onion, 1 green pepper, and 1 red bell pepper. Of course, all of that is completely optional. You do not have to put any of that stuff in there. You can omit it all if you want. To me, I think, at least put the onions in. More times than not, I will always add onions. I don't always add the red pepper and the green bell pepper, but at least make sure you're adding in the onions, because I'm telling you, fried potatoes without onions is a sin. I'm just saying. The red bell pepper and the green bell pepper just gives an extra little bit of flavor to it. And if you're one like me where you don't kind of like the crunch of bell peppers, the way I prepare this kind of gets rid of that aspect, because we're going to be shallow frying these for a few moments before we even put the potatoes in, so that we can get these nice and tender, so that you don't have to worry about chomping down on a green pepper, because I too don't like that. So now that we got all of our veggies done, let's go on ahead and get ready to make our way over to our pan. You guys know I have fallen in love with my wok just because it creates a lot of space. Now what you see right there, that liquid gold, That's what you call an old southern trick. That's old chicken grease. That ain't no clean vegetable oil. That's chicken grease. Now, of course, if you don't have that, of course you can use vegetable oil. Of course you can use canola oil. I would not suggest that you guys use vegetable oil for this. That's just my own personal opinion. But yeah, I use chicken. I use my old chicken grease that I have. Adds more flavor to it. That's how you gotta do it. Same thing like when you make buttermilk pancakes. You don't need to use no damn butter to cook them. Cook them with chicken grease or bacon fat. So now that we got our veggies nice and shallow fried, see how they've kind of sweat down nicely? I know that looks like that's a lot of oil, but don't worry, those potatoes are gonna soak all of that right on up. So now we can go ahead and add the potatoes in, and then go on ahead and just give it a little mix around so that some of that oil can start to coat over top of those potatoes. As you can see, the temperature has kind of dropped in your wok, so or whatever pan you're going to be using. First of all, make sure that you have enough space. Again, we're frying potatoes, we're not making mashed potatoes, okay? So definitely make sure that you're not overcrowding your pan so that they don't steam and that they fry. We've just added in roughly about 1.5 tablespoons of both onion powder and garlic powder. We're gonna add in about 1/2 tablespoon of parsley. And for paprika, you know you gotta add paprika when you're making fried potatoes. It's the only way you're gonna get that beautiful red color. We're gonna also add in some fresh black pepper. Now, of course, these seasonings, depending upon, you know, how many potatoes you're cooking, can vary, but at least you'll know what seasonings you need to put. I'm adding in some seasonal salt. Be mindful of how much seasonal salt you're adding. I'm making a lot of potatoes, so I'm adding in roughly about 1.5 tablespoons. You know, as I say in all of my videos, it is far easier to add salt than it is to remove salt. And one of the biggest mistakes that I feel people make when it comes to frying potatoes is that they put way too much damn salt, and then it just becomes a headache waiting to happen. Especially when you know you're gonna have bacon and other stuff that go along with it. You don't want everything to be super, super salty, okay? So I let those fry, you know, with the top off for about 10 minutes. And then I put the top on and let them cook for about an additional 10 to 15 minutes. And by putting the top on, it just kind of speeds up the process on softening those potatoes up. And as you can see, because we kept the temperature up and there's not that much water in it, it's still frying up those potatoes nicely. Now, once again, at this point, you guys, you're done. You know, you can see all of the beautiful seasoning, you know, all over these potatoes. These potatoes are everything. You hear me? If you want them to be even crispier, let them sit there a little bit longer. Let them brown a little bit longer. You do what you got to do. But I'm trying to tell you, if you follow this recipe, you're going to be the king or queen of making fried potatoes for breakfast, okay? If you're new to my channel, welcome to Simply Food by TY. If you're one of my returning subscribers, well, y'all babies know I love y'all so much. And as always, y'all stay cute and take care. Bye, guys. Look at them damn potatoes. You know this don't make no sense.
Slaying in the kitchen.
Simply Food by TY.
We hope that you enjoyed it.
Simply Food by TY. If you haven't took the time, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.